When it comes to the housing market, these are the two biggest questions most Americans are asking. Should I buy now or wait? And are we going to see a recession or a crash in the housing market? So I want to know your answer to this in the comment section below before we dive into the video. So in this video, we're going to unpack the details, the fresh details, the newest details that you deserve to know about when it comes to the state of the housing market. In fact, the Fed just reset the housing market. We're going to dissect this. You're going to see what Jerome Powell, the Fed Reserve Chairman, has said about the housing market. So we're going to unpack some of these details, these strange happenings in the housing market. And while we don't have the crystal ball, I do believe the information in this video should give you enough power, enough ammunition for you to decide on what you need to do when it comes to purchasing a home, selling a home, and exactly where the housing market is headed going forward. So let's talk about this quick update, right? This is something that I did see. This report right here just shows that a lot of people who purchased in the past few months, recent home buyers, are having regrets on purchasing the property that they purchased just a few months ago. So according to this report by Fortune, there's home buyer's remorse. Most people who bought homes recently have regrets. So we're going to talk about some of the, latest happenings, like I said earlier, in the housing market. But if you belong to this group of people who purchased recently and have regrets, let us know in the comment section below. So now we're going to unpack this video. This is a video from Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell.
So when I say reset, I'm not looking at a particular specific, set of data or anything. What I'm really saying is that we've had a time of a red hot housing market all over the country where, famously houses were selling to the first buyer at 10% above the ask before even seeing the house, that kind of thing. So there was a big imbalance between supply and demand. Housing prices were going up at an unsustainably fast level. So the deceleration in housing prices that we're seeing should help bring sort of prices more closely in line with rents and other housing market fundamentals. And that's a good thing. For the longer term, what we need is supply and demand to get better aligned so that housing prices go up at a reasonable level, at a reasonable pace, and that people can afford houses again. And I think we probably in the housing market have to go through a correction to get back to that place. There are also longer run issues though with the housing market. As you know, it's difficult to find lots now close enough to cities and things like that. So builders are having a hard time getting zoning and lots and workers and materials and things like that. But from a sort of business cycle standpoint, this difficult correction should put the housing market back into better balance.
Okay, so there we have it, guys. When you think about what he said here, he did say a few things, right? But it's something that I really, really want you to understand. Congress has given the Fed two mandates. The first one is to keep employment at a maximum. So they have to do all they can to reduce unemployment, right? So they have to do what they can to keep employment high. Now, the other mandate that they've given the Fed is to make sure that prices stabilize, which means fight inflation, bring inflation back to 2% or lower. And this is the big thing that the Fed is trying to do right now. And the housing market seems to be the sacrificial lamb in all of this stuff, right? So while we've seen the insane overheated pricing that we've seen in the past 6 months, 6 to 18 months, the Fed is trying to right now come in and stabilize the prices. Now there's going to be some effects, and these are some of the headlines that we're seeing as a result of this stuff, right? We did see this report here that shows that the Fed is resetting the housing market, but this is another critical thing that you got to be paying attention to. Luxury home prices plummet 28%. This is the biggest drop on record. Now this is for the luxury market. And when you dig further, you're going to see another update that shows that the typical home now sells for less than asking price. Remember, just a few months ago, people were putting down 10%, 20%, 30% more than asking. And that's what Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell was talking about in his video. So the reset he's talking about It's not that the Fed is single-handedly targeting the housing market. We're seeing the ripple effect that that this action from the Fed increasing rates is having on the housing market. Just go figure, mortgages are going to have higher rates right now. And then when you dig even further, you're going to see that mortgage rates, according to the report that was just released today by Realtor.com, Freddie Mac, basically the mortgage rates from Freddie Mac have surged to the highest point since 2008. So we're seeing Freddie Mac mortgage rates in September, this latest report that we're seeing right now, at 6.29%. And this is pretty high when you think about what this means for the average home buyer or for the prospective home buyer, right? According to this report, the buyer of a medium-priced home at today's rate using a 30-year fixed mortgage is weighing a monthly payment that's about $900 higher than about a year ago, right? And this adds roughly over $10,000 to the yearly financing burden. So people are going to see their disposable income vanish. And this is not something that most households are going to take lightly, but this is some of the impact from what the Fed has done. This is what we're going to see. Now, when it comes down to the question of should I buy now or wait, the real question you have to be asking yourself is, what exactly is my financial situation looking like? Do I need this home today or do I need this home some other time? What's driving the home purchase? Because right now, even with the prices declining, we're seeing the price decline from what we saw a few months ago. It doesn't mean that the price of homes are crashing yet. Because remember, all we're seeing is just a reduction in the double-digit price increase in price of homes that we saw last year. Now we're around the single digits, right? We're seeing home sellers decrease the price that they are listing homes. That's what we're seeing right now. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we're seeing a crash. That's not what's happening, right? But this shakeup in the housing market with the Fed's increasing rate, which has an indirect correlation to the mortgage rates. I'm not going to get too technical on this topic right now, but just understand that when it comes down to the impact the Fed reset is having on the housing market, that will drive your decision to buy now or wait. That will also drive the other factors in the economy, aka employment. So as more people are losing their jobs, you're going to see fear and you're going to see that impact suppress the housing market. That's going to be more pressure on the housing market. So the Fed is trying as much as they can to keep prices stable. However, the Fed has also stated, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell has stated, look, if it means people losing their jobs in the short term to basically fight inflation, we're going to do that. If all we can do right now is to decrease prices, right, by having people lose their jobs or driving the economy into a recession, a short-term recession, whatever you want to call that, that is something that I don't think is off the table for the Fed. So I want to know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. But what we're seeing right now might just be a beginning of some longer pain for the American people and for the housing market. It might be a correction. It might be a deep depression in the housing market. I don't know. I don't have the crystal ball. But I got to tell you something right now. People who purchased early this year, a few months ago, are regretting that decision. So this is a big purchase. If you're looking to purchase a home right now, you got to pay close attention to everything around your financial situation, your job, your long-term plans. You just got to think about your family. You got to think about your personal debt profile. You got to think about so many factors because who knows what's coming down the pike, right? But one thing that I want to assure you is you don't want to panic during this period. The decision to buy now or wait is something you really have to talk to your financial advisor about. You have to look at what's unfolding in the market and you have to decide for yourself, what is the best use of my money? Now, we know what happens to rents as well, right? We're going to see rents, follow what's happening with the housing market when it comes to, existing home sales and new home constructions. So again, it's very convoluted. And at this point in time, what the Fed is doing is really having a huge impact on the housing market. So I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think this housing market is going to be driven into a deep recession, huge correction, or do you think things are just going to slowly balance out, where you're going to have supply meet the demand like the Fed is preaching? So I want to get your thoughts on this in the comment section below. And if you think now is the time to buy, let us know why. And also, if you think people should wait, let us know why in the comment section below. But if you've enjoyed this video, if you've gained some insights from this video, let us know in the comment section below and share this video with other people to help them get this information quicker. See you in the next one. Thank you for watching and stay safe.